The Amish rice water trick that revives soil instantly. Lactic acid bacteria secret. If you've ever wondered how the Amish manage to grow lush gardens without relying on synthetic fertilizers or fancy bottled bio boosters, here's a secret worth leaning in for. They harness the quiet power of lactic acid bacteria, LAB, and it all starts with something as simple as rice, wash, water. That's right. Before probiotics became a gardening trend, the Amish were already fermenting beneficial microbes from everyday ingredients to heal their soil and strengthen their plants. It's a practice rooted in observation, patience, and respect for nature's invisible helpers. And once you understand how it works, you'll never look at your leftover rice water the same way again. Let's dig in. The Amish live close to the land. Without chemical fertilizers or pesticides, their success depends on the biological health of the soil. They learned early on that microbes are the real engines of fertility. By observing how milk sours or how compost heats up, they realize these natural processes are powered by bacteria, especially lactic acid bacteria. Lactic acid bacteria, or LAB, are the same beneficial microbes used to ferment yogurt, sauerkraut, and kimchi. In the soil, they play a powerful role. Media group. Decomposing plant matter in soil, compost being mixed into garden soil, hands sprinkling compost as stock, distribute equally, breaking down organic matter into plant-available nutrients, suppressing harmful pathogens, and fungi, stimulating root growth and improving nutrient absorption and enhancing soil structure and oxygen balance. In essence, LAB turns your soil into a living ecosystem, one that naturally feeds itself. And the Amish found a simple, low-cost way to cultivate it using rice wash water and a touch of fermentation magic. The first step in the Amish lab process is capturing wild microorganisms. Instead of buying cultures or commercial inoculants, they turn to the natural microbes already present on rice. When you rinse raw rice, you wash off starch, dust, and, most importantly, a layer of dormant bacteria and yeast that live on the grain's surface. This cloudy water becomes the perfect breeding ground for beneficial microbes. Here's how you can do it yourself. Take 1 cup of uncooked white rice. The Amish often used whatever they had on hand. Add 2 to 3 cups of clean, chlorine-free water, and shake or stir vigorously for a minute until the water turns milky. Strain out the rice and keep the water. Pour that rice wash water into a loosely covered glass jar or clay pot. Don't seal it airtight. The microbes need oxygen to breathe in this early stage. Just leave it at room temperature, away from direct sunlight for 2 to 3 days. During this time, natural microbes from the air and rice will multiply, feeding on the starch. The liquid may develop a faint sour smell. That's lactic acid bacteria waking up. A thin white film on top is normal. When it starts to smell slightly tangy like yogurt or cheese, it's ready for the next step. Now that you've captured wild bacteria, you need to feed and multiply them. The Amish used a trick passed down through generations, mixing the fermented rice wash with milk. Here's why. Milk is full of lactose, the favorite food of lactic acid bacteria. When you add milk, the LAB rapidly outcompete unwanted microbes and dominate the mixture, creating a strong, pure culture. To do this, mix your rice water ferment, strain to remove solids, with 10 parts fresh milk, cow, goat, or even powdered milk works. Loosely cover and let it sit at room temperature for 5 to 7 days. Soon, you'll see the milk separate into 2 layers, a solid curd on top, similar to cottage cheese, and a yellowish liquid underneath. That's your pure lactic acid bacteria serum. Carefully scoop off the curds and keep only the liquid. Strain it to remove any solids and store it in a sealed bottle in the fridge. Properly kept, it can last for months. This simple method, just rice water and milk, was how Amish farmers brewed billions of beneficial bacteria right in their barns. No lab coats required. Now, the real transformation begins. LAB isn't a one-trick wonder. It can be used throughout your garden in multiple ways. The Amish use their LAB solution as both a soil conditioner and a plant tonic. To make a usable mix, dilute the LAB concentrate 1 tablespoon of LAB per 1 liter of non-chlorinated water for general soil drenching or foliar spray. Apply directly to the soil around your plants, or spray the leaves early in the morning or late evening. The microbes quickly colonize the soil surface and root zone, suppressing harmful bacteria and unlocking nutrients. You'll start to notice changes within a couple of weeks: healthier, shinier leaves, faster root development, more resilient plants against pests and diseases, and improved soil texture and smell. Yes, living soil smells alive. The Amish would reapply lab every 2 to 3 weeks, often alongside compost teas or diluted manure teas, to create a thriving microbial synergy beneath their crops. Think of Lactic as the gut health solution for your soil. Just like probiotics strengthen your digestive system, these microbes strengthen the soil's living community. When added to the soil, Lactic breaks down organic acids, making nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium more available to plants. It also helps decompose tough materials like lignin and cellulose, meaning your compost and mulch become food faster. And because Lactic naturally produces lactic acid, it lowers the pH around harmful bacteria, effectively crowding them out without chemicals. It's a biological shield that works in harmony with nature. Even more fascinating, plants exposed to Lactic often show enhanced resistance to fungal infections like powdery mildew and root rot. The bacteria colonize plant surfaces and root zones, blocking pathogens before they can take hold. The Amish didn't have microscopes to see this. They simply observed healthier crops, fewer diseases, and richer soil year after year. The Amish also used Lactic beyond direct soil treatment. They found it speeds up composting dramatically. A few tablespoons added to a compost pile or manure heap can reduce smells and accelerate decomposition. It works by encouraging beneficial fermentation, rather than rot, which means more nutrients stay intact and fewer harmful gases are released. Many gardeners today use Lactic as part of bokashi composting, a method that mirrors this Amish wisdom almost exactly. Your Lactic serum can be kept alive indefinitely. Just remember, it's a living culture. Store it in the fridge and feed it occasionally with a bit of molasses or milk if you notice it losing strength. Always dilute before using it in the garden. Unconcentrated can be too acidic. You can even scale up production seasonally, making gallons at a time to use throughout your growing cycle. Once you've brewed your own, you'll realize how unnecessary expensive microbial inoculants really are. What's beautiful about this Amish method isn't just the science, it's the philosophy behind it. It teaches us to work with nature instead of trying to dominate it. By fermenting something as humble as rice water and milk, you create life in its purest, most useful form. Every time you pour a lab into your garden, you're seeding an invisible ecosystem that will keep your plants thriving long after the season ends. Ready to power up your soil. Naturally. Now that you know the Amish secret to brewing lactic acid bacteria, it's time to try it yourself. Start small. A jar of rice wash water today could turn into a powerhouse of soil life by next week. If you found this guide helpful, remember to subscribe to Soil Power on YouTube for more hands-on, science-backed natural gardening tips. Share this with fellow gardeners who want to grow healthier, more resilient plants without relying on chemicals. Together, let's bring life back into our soil. One microbe at a time. Soil Power 5.